everybody. I've been tagged again, this time by mjtmasterson, and the tag is "Show us your blades." Mr. Masterson laid out all his knife collection and walked us through, saying a little bit about each of the knives, and that's the tag he wants to pass on. So we're going to have a look at my collection. I'm going to do it in little groups because I think that'll be easier. I'll certainly stand a better chance of being able to put them all away in the right place. So, show us your blades. Here we go. So we'll start off with sensible sized factory fixed blades. One of the first ones was the Mora Scout 39. It was only a tenner when I bought this. I think about 20 quid now. 12C27 stainless, nice bright polish. I think a very classy knife, and for a budget knife, even at the current £20 mark, extremely good value. Like my Fire, also based on a Mora, with a Mora stainless blade, this time with a matte finish and fire steel in the handle. When I first reviewed this knife, I really struggled getting the fire steel in and out of the handle. I've since realised that if you leave the knife in the scabbard, in the sheath, it's actually a lot simpler. And wouldn't you know it, when I come to bloody do it on camera, I can't get the fucker out. Right, so, yes, trust me though, it is actually a lot simpler to remove and replace the fire steel with the knife in the sheath. Mora Companion. Everybody knows this one. This was the one that I did the test cutting up a steel can. And I completely mashed up about half the edge. But as you can see, I've repaired the damage. And I don't know if it shows up on camera, but there's quite a polish on that Scandi grind now. I think I took it to about 1000 grit, wet and dry. That's like a scalpel. So, people look at these as a cheap beta knife, which they are, but you look after it, it's also an extremely good tool. Karisuando. Traditional Scandinavian style, RWL 34 powder steel, beautiful knife, good chunky handle in the curly birch and a really good leather sheath with a plastic liner. So as the factory fixed blades. For part 2 we've got the custom fixed blades, starting at this end with Doberman knives, Damascus steel. This didn't come with a sheath, hence the cardboard and duct tape, but it's an extremely sharp knife. The Damascus is lovely and the handle is excellent, very ergonomic. I like that one a lot. Then these two are from QMEC. Also goes by the name Mechanic. Little titanium kiridashi, rainbow kiridashi. The colours on the titanium are absolutely amazing. And then I'm assuming that titanium is not cheap to buy because he uses up his offcuts and makes what he calls keeblings. So there's no actual fixed handle, it's just the paracord through the little blade, and that is sharp. Very sweet little thing. Another little neck knife. This is the hangnail from Adam at Knee Deep Knives, and this is a little beauty. We've got the Kirinite handle scales and clear perspex pins. Nice lanyard, and that is a really good little box cutter mail opener with a lovely Kydex sheath. Oh, there's one missing. Hang on. Oh, my shiv from Dell at Knee Deep Knife. Dell at Darkroom Knives. I've done a couple of vids on that, and I have got another one coming up. You might find interesting. And then this one is a Tanto 200 by George Icard, GI Custom Knives. 3/16 01 tool steel, desert ironwood burl scales, handmade leather sheath. That's another one that did opening a steel can. Hardly any damage on this one, but there were a couple of little bits. But again, it's been restored to its original razor sharpness. That is a lovely knife. So that is the custom fixed blades. The last section of the fixed blades is the two big ones. I had to do these separately because they won't fit on the desk with the others. We've got the Magnum Giant Bowie, 8 inches of 440C with a big hollow ground, big swedgy point, stacked leather handle and leather sheath. Not top quality, but for less than £40, well worth it. And here the Kershaw Camp 10, which is a 10-inch blade of high carbon steel, which I think from memory was M65, plastic and rubber moulded handle, a rigid plastic sheath. The blade does rattle in the sheath because it's not fitted to the recurve, but for about £46 this is excellent. I can certainly recommend that to anybody who's looking for a reasonable price chopper. Blades retained with a press stud, and then on the Magnum it's just a normal leather sheath with a press stud strap around the handle. So those are the two big fixed blades. So first group of folders, start with the Falcon U1 slip joint, laminated 3G steel blade and yellow coloured bone scales. This came, as you can see, razor sharp. I can stop faffing about with it. That was the sharpest factory edge I'd come across until buying this one, Mazzarin Atti from Italy. Absolutely beautiful. It was about £80, quite a lot of money for a folder for me. S35VN blade steel, lovely rounded spine, liner lock. That's a slip joint. That is a fabulous little knife. Then a Christmas present, a Magnum King, I think it is, Damascus, wooden handle scales. That's a backlock. Then a couple of years ago I had a bonus from work, so I treated myself to a Fontenille Pateau Laguiole with juniper handle scales and RWL 34 blade steel. That's a slip joint. Higanakami, although not strictly. This isn't made by the last surviving person who has legal rights to use the term Higanakami, although Niwaki.co.uk, website that sells a lot of Japanese gardening materials, have started stocking actual Higanakami by the fella who does have rights to use that name. Boca Nano frame lock, based very closely on a David Curtis custom design, 440C, lovely little knife. Kuchiria Joker, chrome vanadium stainless blade. It's a slip joint, but it's got a very powerful backspring. Machining on the liners and on the blade, and horn handle scales. That was nice for less than £30, I think. And then finally for this group we've got an old Opinel number 6, and this is a very old Opinel. As you can see, the blade lock's open, but this predates the addition of the cutaway at the bottom of the collar, so it doesn't lock closed. The edge is a bit wavy. Years and years of sharpening on different materials. And for this I've got a little leather belt pouch that I made from a scrap of rawhide that somebody gave me, and a bit of waxed cotton thread. So that's the first group of the folders. So next group of folders. Ontario Rat 1. This was a gift from J. Hines Yahoo. It's the first knife he'd pimped, so he's replaced the synthetic scales with decorated and dyed wooden scales. I think that's Osate steel, that's liner lock. Schrade, Big Daft spear point, clearly a rip-off. Frame lock, very heavy, very heavily built. A lot of fun but not much use. CRKT Hammond Desert Cruiser copy. Didn't like this at all at first, gave it quite a slating in the review, but it has grown on me a bit. The terminal edge was quite poorly ground, and it has taken a bit of work to tidy that up into a decent cutter. Spyderco, Persistence, a bit smaller than the Tenacious, but a lovely little knife for 30 quid. Liner lock, big spidey hole, very well made. Little Mantis friction folder, odd looking little thing, but with a big finger choil there, the fact it's a friction folder shouldn't be a safety issue. I bought this knife about the time that Tough Thumbs was launching his friction folders, and it was a bit of a consolation prize because I wouldn't be able to afford one of his. And the last one in this group is a little case. I've forgotten the name of this model, but it's a little hollow ground blade, backlock, plastic handles, no steel liners, very sharp, nice little everyday pocket knife. So that's that group. Now, Swiss Army knives. You've seen all these before. We've got the big Wenger Forester. A beast of a knife for a Swiss Army knife, but as mentioned on the review, a couple of fundamental flaws in the design. No, sorry, that's the Wenger Ranger grip, beg your pardon. And the Victorinox Forester, part serrated blade, excellent, excellent knife. current favourite for a large Swiss Army knife. Victorinox Solo. One blade, slip joint, 4 inches long blade. For some reason, for all this is a very good knife, I'm not sure why that is currently, the review of that knife is my most watched video. I think over 2,500 watches, views for that. Then we've got the Spartan, my favourite all round everyday pocket knife. Pocket Pal, which is just 2 blades, large blade, small blade, with metal liners and plastic scales. And then the Ambassador, which is the same basic knife, same 2 blades, but without the plastic scales. This is just a single thickness of metal for each scale. Very classy, I think. Then the Wenger version, same size, same metal scales. Fit and finish isn't up to the standard of the Victorinox. If I can get it out, the small pen blade is a clip point rather than a drop point. Nice colour red though. And then the last one there is the Spartan copy. I think I paid £12 or £13 for the Victorinox Spartan, and the Claes Olsson version, which is exactly the same size, shape, design, slightly poorer quality blade steel, but it's only £5. I think when I bought it they were £4. So those are my current Swiss Army knives. On to the next group. The next group, start over here with Rough Rider Large Hunter. Very good if you need a budget folding hunter. Case Trapper with the yellow Delrin scales. Hen and Rooster Trapper, 2 blades, and a Magnum Trapper. Now the Magnum is clearly not going to be up to the quality of the Hen and Rooster or the Case Trappers, but with the steel handles and mother of pearl, the abalone inlay, I thought that was a bit of fun. Then we've got a large Rough Rider Stockman, a Case Stockman with Bermuda green scales, and then the slightly smaller Hen and Rooster Stockman with the stag antler scales. That is absolutely beautiful. The big Rough Rider Trapper Hunter was a giveaway prize from That's Pap's Knife 63. And the 2 Hen and Roosters, the orange handled Trapper and the stag handled Stockman, were prizes from Stefan Schmalhaus. So that's that group. So next group, Maxpedition Ferox, about 22 quid. It's a flipper, ambidextrous thumb studs, liner lock. Very well made, really pleased with the fit and finish at that price. Sword Peasant Knife, high carbon steel blade. It's a friction folder. This one goes back to when they were shipping the handles with the horrible varnish finish. I believe now they come with an oiled wood handle, although I've not seen that myself yet. CRKT Longmar number 5. Lovely smooth G10 scales. It's a slip joint, but there's no back spring. The blade is held open with ball detents. This is the Puma Tech that I reviewed recently. Backlock, very slim metal handle, Only £16 or £17. Very good value for the money. And then finally we've got a number 10 Opinel. This is an old one where it predates the groove on the bottom that allows you to lock the blade closed. As you can see from the blade, there's a lot of age there. This is a carbon steel. So that's that group. This group we're starting off with another Opinel, number 10. I bought this as a replacement for the one you saw previously because I thought I'd lost the other one. And that is the little groove on the collar that I was referring to, which was introduced so that the blade can be locked closed. I often forget on these new ones that you can lock them closed, and I end up breaking my thumbnail trying to get them open. So then we've got an Opinel Slimline. This one is carbon steel blade, very graceful curve shape. Another Sword Peasant. This one I've sanded off the horrible varnish and beeswaxed the handle, and it's lovely. You sand the corners off as well as the varnish and just smooth it out. It is a really nice handle then. But at the price they sell them, I don't think you can complain too much if the fit and finish is a bit rough and ready. Portuguese Manfilman lock knife with just a short liner lock there. Very similar in feel to the Opinels with the wooden handle and the metal brace round there, but we don't have the rotating collar. This is, as I say, a liner lock. And then another one that I reviewed fairly recently is the Mazarin Marinera. Simple olive handle budget pocket knife, but very good quality. That's that group. The final group in the collection is represented by a few items under here, which are the knives that I've got lined up for review, but you haven't seen them yet. There's a couple more as well as these, but I didn't see any point in gathering them all together when I'm not going to show them you, because as I say, they're tucked away under there. They'll be reviewed in due course. So that's my collection, or most of my collection, with a bit more coming in the future. So I hope you found that interesting. As I said at the beginning, this was a tag video, so the two people I'm going to tag to show us your blades are dseed and Torn Apart. I'll put their links in the description box, along with a link to mjtmasterson, who tagged me. I check out the channels, they're all really good, and thanks for watching. See you next time.